Happy Canada Day weekend, everyone! We live in one of the greatest countries in the world, but there are a number of unique things about our country that many Canadians do not even realize. For an example, did you know that Canada is the #1 consumer of donuts in the entire world? Though there are only approximately 30 million people in Canada, we eat 1 billion donuts annually. I think we can thank a particular hockey player by the name of Tim for that. Did you also know that Canada is the second largest country in the world? Canada is larger than the entire European Union combined. And were you aware that Canada has the highest ocean tides in the world? The water in the Bay of Fundy, located between the eastern provinces of Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, literally look like it disappears at its lowest tide. Speaking of bodies of water, did you know that Canada has the largest freshwater island in the world? The Manitoulin Island is located in the province of Ontario at the top of Lake Huron's Georgian Bay, and it consists of beautiful forests, hiking trails, lakes, and farmland surrounded by its signature cedar split rail fences. Canada also boasts having 3 of the largest islands in the world: Baffin Island, Victoria Island, and Ellesmere Island. We also lay claim to having the longest freshwater beach in the world, Wasaga Beach, located in South Georgian Bay, Ontario. And did you know that the second longest freshwater beach in the world is Sauble Beach off of Lake Huron? And since we are talking about geography here, did you know that the Trans-Canada Highway #1 is the longest highway in the world, boasting 7,821 kilometers? Canada also has the longest street in the world, Yonge Street, which originates in Toronto, Ontario, and runs north toward Lake Simcoe for 1,896 kilometers. Another interesting fact about Canada is that it has the only walled city north of the country of Mexico. Quebec City is one of the oldest cities in North America, founded by Samuel de Champlain in the year 1608. Canada is also famous for many inventions. Did you know that basketball was invented by a Canadian, Dr. James Naismith, in the year 1891? The telephone was also invented in Canada by Alexander Graham Bell. While Bell himself was not a Canadian, he spent most of his time working in Brantford, Ontario, and Quebec, Nova Scotia. One of Canada's most important inventions for many diabetics is insulin. Dr. Frederick Banting discovered this at the University of Toronto in 1921. But what would snowbound Canadians have ever done without the invention of the snowblower by Arthur Sicard in the year 1927? And speaking of snow, did you know that the residents of Churchill, Manitoba never lock their doors of their vehicles or homes? Why? Because Churchill is the polar bear capital of the world. If you are suddenly confronted by an agitated polar bear, you don't want to be fumbling for your car keys or your house keys in order to open the lock to get yourself out of danger. Did you also know that the region around Churchill, located near Hudson Bay, has the least amount of gravity in the entire world? I guess it pays to be light-footed with all those polar bears lurking around. Sadly, Christian influence in our Canadian society has been in decline over the past century. According to StatCan, only 68% of Canadians 15 years of age or older reported having a religious affiliation during the year 2019. This is the first time fewer than 70% of Canadians reported being religiously affiliated since this has been tracked from 1985. In the same report, only 23% of Canadians reported attending group religious activities such as a church service at least once a month. Previously, this figure had been steady at about 30%. Let us therefore pray for a fresh, vibrant move of God's Spirit in the Canadian church today. Let us pray that Canadian churches will be loving towards their neighbors, representing Jesus in the power of His gospel. As 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 20 says, We are therefore Christ's ambassadors, as though God were making His appeal through us. Oh, may God keep our land glorious and free.